to borrow money and purchase goods without paying cash. Credit is built up by paying bills on time. Good credit history is essential for borrowing money from banks for loans. In 2010, an article Pay Off Debt encourages consumers that if you do only one thing, pay your credit card on time. If you do, your credit card issuer will be restricted in raising rates on current balances thanks to the Credit Card Act of 2009. In 2006, the Weekly Reader News stated that Americans owe more than $800 billion in credit card debts. So today I will talk about first the problems of the high number of credit card debt in America, secondly the causes of credit card debt, and thirdly I will talk about the solutions to credit card debt. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about the problems of credit card debt. Right out of high school, young adults receive many pre-approved credit card applications, and with advertisements and new technology coming out, it is hard to resist not accepting an offer, especially when you want to buy those new shoes, that fancy watch, new clothes, but you don't have the money at the time, so you can use the credit card and pay it later. According to an article in 2008 called Debt in Dollars, it states that the way you spend money now will influence the way you spend money when you're an adult. So if you constantly are borrowing money from friends and family members now, chances are when you are an adult, your money management would be very poor. So do yourself a favor and get into the practice of paying off debt now, and if possible, avoid borrowing money from others entirely. It's important to get organized and think ahead. In 2000, an article called "Tis Season for Credit Card Debt" states that the surge in the use of plastic in December was an acceleration of a 1990s trend. Americans are and have been increasingly turning to credit cards to pay everything from grocery bills, utility bills, fast food, and even tuition. So now I will talk about the causes of credit card debt. And I will use my board. Okay, so simply, people spend more than they have. That's the main cause of credit card debt. In an article called "Credit Card Debt Exceeds Student Debt" in 2005, a nationwide survey found that 23% of students use credit cards to pay for tuition and fees, and 52% use them for textbooks and supplies. Credit card debt steadily has increases as students advance through college. USA Today released an article in 2009 stating that vulnerable consumers are turning to credit cards for necessities, not luxuries. For instance, more than half of households say medical expenses contributed to their credit card debt. The state of the economy has really taken its toll on the people. An article from 2001 in Junior Scholastics, it stated that interest rates vary, but the average credit card company charges about 14% interest. On top of that, there are hidden charges such as penalties if you send a late payment, and if you're not careful, you could find yourself paying a hefty sum each month in interest and penalties alone. According to www.freemoneyfinance.com, it states no matter what your income, you should spend less than you earn. So if your earning power stays the same and some of your expenses go up, you need to start saving money in other areas of your budget. You cannot keep spending at your regular rates. On my board here, I have pictures of little credit card signs. You go to stores all the time, and they have the little machine where you could just pay with your credit card. It's in 2009, credit cards in the U.S. there's 576.4 million, The average number of credit cards held by cardholders is about 3.5 in 2008. The average APR on new credit cards is 14.45%, and the total U.S. consumer debt is $2.46 trillion. U.S. credit card holders with 60-day delinquency rate is 4.5%, and U.S. credit card default rate is 11.37%. Okay, so lastly I will present solutions to credit card debt, so that hopefully you can prevent getting into credit card debt, or if you are already in credit card debt, you can find out how to get out of it in an article in 2010 called Taming Money Madness. To get out of debt, you must first follow the money and find out what you are really spending it on. In other words, catch up in order to catch up and pay off your cards, you will need to hold off on that Starbucks, those new shoes, and those special treats that you give yourself. So the best thing to do is chop up your credit cards or hide them. Keep one just in case of an emergency, and if you are in too far, call a debt consolidator. According to an article in 2009 called Smart Solution, it suggests that you sign up for online bill paying and make a small payment once a week instead of a big payment once a month. However, it is best to pay off cards with higher interest rates first, but people find it's easier to pay off your smaller balance first. It's up to you. Compare card rates. You can compare card rates at bankrate.com and then transfer your balance to a card with a lower interest rates. And then you can cut up your original card. You can also get a prepaid card so you won't overdraft. That will be your money. There's no APR. That's probably the best solution instead of getting a credit card. According to the article from 2009 in the Red Book, if you are drowning in debt, you can take the slow and steady approach and get credit counseling programs, offer services such as budgeting and advice and debt and mortgage counseling, usually free at a low cost. If you need a fast fix, you can contact a debt settlement company that negotiates with your creditors to get them to accept a smaller amount than what you owe. But it states that it's basically the same if you do it yourself, and it'll be cheaper. You won't have to pay the fee. As a last resort, you can file for bankruptcy. But the following stays on your credit card report for nearly a decade, and it can prevent you from obtaining everything from credit cards to student loans or certain job licenses, and will make the credit you do receive much more expensive thanks to higher interest rates or require collateral. I will conclude by reviewing what we have learned today. We have learned that there is a high number of Americans in credit card debt. We have also learned that the causes for which include medical bills, tuition, interest rates, is spending more than you make. We went through various solutions of paying more than the minimum every month. The best solution is to pay with cash or get a prepaid card so you cannot overdraft and get into debt. I hope this information has helped you understand how not to get into credit card debt, or if you are already in credit card debt, you can now get out of credit card debt. Thank you.